Ballerina marks the 5th entry in the John Wick franchise, so here's my ranking of all 5 films. Let me know your ranking in the comments down below. In 5th place for me is John Wick at a 7.5 out of 10. I think this is a great action movie, but this is the definition of just action carrying such a basic story, but it works enough to be entertaining. In 4th place for me is John Wick Chapter 2 at a 7.5 out of 10 as well. I think this is a step up from the first film action-wise and story-wise, but it's still not giving us that much to grasp onto. But I will say it has that subway free-for-all action sequence, which is one of my favorites in the entire franchise. In 3rd place for me is the newly released Ballerina at an 8.5 out of 10. I think this is a massive step up from the original storytelling in the first 2 films, but it also benefits from having an already fleshed out world with John Wick 1 through 4. Eve is such an interesting character. I like how they expand the world with this new cult of assassins, and I think the second half is one massive action sequence that, though the story does work better than the first 2 John Wick films, isn't anything phenomenal, but it still carries that story aspect because the action is just so cool. In 2nd place for me is John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum at an 8.5 out of 10. I genuinely think that the escape from New York scene where he's riding on horseback is one of the most absurd action sequences in cinema history. This is easily the most ambitious and widespread story of the entire John Wick franchise in my opinion, but I think the pacing is a real problem here. But in 1st place for me is John Wick Chapter 4 at a 9 out of 10, maybe 9.5 on a good day. This is like top 3 action films to ever exist, and it's basically because the entire film from start to finish is one big action scene. And I think that's why I can't give it a perfect score, because it does lack essential story moments in between. But from the Paris free-for-all, that one-take shotgun scene, car chase around the Arc de Triomphe, there's also the Osaka Continental scene, and then that final duel that caps off this franchise really, really well. Rumors have it that they're doing a John Wick 5 that's going to be set in a hypothetical hell, and that would be the coolest thing ever. Let me know your ranking for all 5 John Wick films in the comments down below.